Hey everybody, Karyn Bryant here, and today I've got Rafael dos Anjos kicking back with me. Very excited about having you on, the former champ, of course, back in action at 299. So it's been a minute. First and foremost, how are you?
Very good. Thank you for having me, Karyn.
Good, good, good. Well, it's great to see you. And yeah, so you got a big fight coming up at UFC 299 against Mateusz Gamrot. What did you think when you were offered this matchup?
Yeah, exciting. Like
Yeah.
he's a top guy. He was on the back type fight for a title fight at
Hmm.
one time, and yeah, it's a great opportunity for me back at lightweight, and a great opportunity to be back on that mix.
He's really good, as you know. And so obviously, you have to expect some wrestling and some grappling with this guy, huh?
Yeah, as always, UFC feeds me with good wrestlers, and
Yeah.
but I'm excited for that challenger. And I moved to Austin, Texas. I've been training with best grapplers in the world. That B team with Craig Jones, all those guys, and it's been fun. It's been a very good experience for me, and I can't wait for March 9th.
They are such a great team. And I know actually I spoke to Eric Anders, who is fighting this coming weekend, and he went down to train with B Team as well. But yeah, Craig, those guys are all amazing. All the Nickies and everybody there. But what was it specifically about that team that drew your attention? Because certainly there are a lot of places you can go to train jujitsu.
Yeah, I like Craig. He's a nice guy,
Yeah.
and I messaged him on Instagram, and he was very open doors for me and all
Hmm.
the team. Everybody no, like I need tough rounds, but safe rounds. That especially when it comes to foot locks and leg locks, and I gotta avoid those hard positions. We are MMA fighters, so we're not too usual to those type of attacks. So those guys, they've been taking care of me, like not going hard on my knees, on my ankles. So when I messaged Craig, he was pretty responsive, like
Hmm.
opened the doors for me, and everybody on the team were like very nice with me, great hospitality, and yeah, that's why I chose them.
Yeah, that's awesome. And they just have a fun energy too. It seems like even though they work really hard, it seems like they have a great sense of humor about it all too. And so it just kind of makes it go a little bit better.
Yeah, that's why I picked them, and they're really good people. Everybody there treated me really well, and I'm really happy.
Nice. Well, you bring up a lot though, because trust is a huge thing, especially too for both sides of the equation, right? For you to look at a place to go to train, you need to trust in them. But I have to believe too that when people hear from you, I mean, that's a big responsibility too. I don't know that everybody's ready to accept you and can be ready to train you and have people at your high level. So you've tried a few different gyms. Why? I mean, you went home to Brazil for a while. You came back to the States. Like, what's been the sort of main reason why you've been moving?
Yeah, I was in Brazil for 3 years, and with the pandemic, I went back to Brazil, and I
Yeah.
was there for 3 years with Nalvo União, with the Pedernera, but still with that there, he's gonna be on my corner,
Hmm. Okay.
and
Good.
I have a home gym in my garage, and
Uh-huh.
beat teams like 15, 20 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
And I had the option to go to Brazil to do my fight camp there,
Mhm.
but I don't like to stay away from my family.
Yeah.
And I got a 5 years old, a 13, and I like to be around them.
Yeah.
And I brought guys from Brazil.
Okay.
I brought sparring partners, my conditioning coach, Paulo Caruso.
Hmm.
He's one of the pioneers when it comes to strength conditioning in Brazil. He works with
Nice.
Olympic judo team over there. And I brought him over here. I brought two more guys. And yeah, so my fight, I'm holding my fight camp in Austin. It's been great.
Nice. And what's the feeling about 55, because obviously you've fought at 55 and 170, and a lot of time when people get older they're like, oh, I don't want to go back down. But at the same time, nutrition is getting better and it's easier. I feel like there's more science to it now. So how do you feel at 155 at this point?
Yeah, when I had that loss to Fiziv, I
Hmm.
was pretty like, okay, I think my 55 days are done.
Yeah.
And but after that fight, UFC took really good care of me. They
Hmm.
renegotiated my contract, and I went back to 170. I went up to 170, and I fought
Hmm.
Vicente. It was a, I didn't like my performance that day. I didn't
Okay.
I wasn't happy with my performance and the way that I show up on that night. But yeah, I felt him strong. I felt him big, and I feel like UFC they have me as a bigger name at 155 versus
Yeah.
170. So and Sean Shelby offered me that fight at the 155. And I feel like being a former 155 champion, former
Hmm.
lightweight champion, I have that path to break in a top five, and eventually maybe, who knows, fight for the title. I just want to be. I don't have that focus on the title, but like
Hmm.
I feel like beating Matthew and Gamrot, and I'm the title shot is like the way to the title shot is shorter, and but weighting is dropping really well, and
Hmm.
yeah, like you said, the nutrition, everything gets more like evolve. Like
Yep.
we learn how to train, how to don't like killing ourselves during
Hmm.
fight camp. I'm 39 years old, and I feel great, way better than when I was 30. Like
Yeah.
recovery is a little bit longer, but like when it comes to know your body, you get to know your body better. And I feel great to make weight this for next weekend.
It's probably crazy when you look back on the early days in Brazil or whatever, like the way people used to cut weight and how everything was so extreme and so unscientific and so bad for your bodies. It's probably crazy some of the stuff you used to do.
Yeah, especially when I met Andre Pederneiras,
Hmm.
Jose Aldo had a hard time to make 145,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden he decided to drop to 135. And I spoke to Aldo, and like he was telling me how easy it was. It
Hmm.
was easier to make 135 than 145 for him, and Andre Pederneiras, within throughout all those years of experience, he created a method to
Hmm.
make weight that all my fights that I make 155 with him was like not pretty easy, but
Yeah.
it was way easier than it was when I was doing it on my own.
Hmm.
So, and I spoke to that there. He liked the fight against Matthew Gamrot.
Yeah.
And then I say that there it's 155. How confident are you? He goes, yeah, Rafa, I think you can make weight. And then I'm following the protocol
Hmm.
for the past 8 9 weeks. And wait to some point, everything's good.
Nice. I love that. And I love that you still have a lot of goals, right? Because yeah, he's currently number 6. Like you said, if you can beat him, then here we go again, right? So,
Yeah.
how many? You said you signed a new contract, right? So, how much longer are we going to be able to get to watch you chasing this dream?
Yeah, I signed an 8 fights deal. So
Nice.
far I have 2 fights done.
Uh-huh.
So this is gonna be the third one. And yeah, like I said, I spoke to Dana and I say, yeah, I don't, and Hunter too.
Hmm.
I'm not looking forward to stop fighting and fight somewhere else for other organization. I
Yeah.
love UFC, and I've been on the company for so long. I don't want to stop fighting UFC and fight for other organization. That's
Hmm.
not my goal, and that's why I signed that long term deal, and because I want to be done. When I'm done, I'm done. I don't want to fight anywhere else.
And we wouldn't want you to go anywhere else anyway. I mean, that's the whole thing, you know. You have the most fight time in the UFC, right? Which is amazing, and we do see people like Jim Miller still doing well. Was there a part of you that was kind of like, wait a minute, can I get on 300 instead of 299 or 301 in Rio? I mean, you're right there.
Yeah, I didn't fought 200. It
Yeah,
looks like 300 not gonna be possible. But
yeah,
yeah, Rio is over there. Like 301
yep.
is gonna be like 8. It'll be like, yeah, probably 8 weeks after my fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be, man. I'm really excited for that. So folks are 100% on Matthew Gamrot now,
Hmm.
but I'm pretty confident I'll pass him. And yeah, 301 in Rio, that will be amazing.
It would
I never
be,
fought in Rio. I never fought in UFC Rio. I had one fight in UFC in Brazil, but it was South.
yeah.
I would love to be on fight card on Rio.
That's crazy that you've never fought in Rio. That doesn't make sense. That seems like I would have assumed you fought. You were like on every Rio card earlier in the days, in your UFC days, but I guess not.
Not yeah.
Okay, okay. So when you do look at at all your fights, so is there? I mean, I know we know the Connor thing was sort of the one that didn't happen. Would that be the biggest fight that you wanted that didn't ever come through?
Yeah, I was just like upset because I couldn't make it to the fight,
Yeah.
and I think back on the days, it was my very first fight that I pulled out due injury. I
Hmm.
never had pulled out to any fight. I had a fight with Islam too, which I hurt my meniscus, and
Yeah.
I had an operation. But before that, there was a fight against Conor.
Hmm.
But like it didn't happen, and it could happen one day. Who
Yeah.
knows? My focus is stay active,
Hmm.
keep competing, doing what I love. I still like in a good health, and I don't have any chronic injuries.
Yeah.
And I just want to do this as much as I can. I love what I do, and I'm pretty sure, like every time retirement cross my mind, I see. I far like I mean I try for retirement because I'm still doing good.
Yeah.
I'm being competitive.
Yes.
I've been fight 5 rounds against tough guys and still being competitive. And by the day that I start losing a bunch of fights in a row, I
Hmm.
don't want to get that point, but I'm being competitive. I want to finish my contract with UFC. I want to get these 6 fights done, and we'll see what happens next.
I do wonder what you think of when you look at Michael Chandler, though, waiting for that Connor fight. And I feel like sometimes it's like he's letting so much time go by in his career, like waiting for that fight. And I'm like, is that going to be worth it or not?
Yeah, yeah.
It's tough.
It's a short career. It's a
Yeah.
very short career, and the clock's ticking, and you have to. That's why I want to be active. I don't want
Hmm.
to after this fight. If I don't have any injury, I wanna fight again and again. I just want to be active, and I think he's waiting and waiting for a fight that maybe couldn't ever happen.
Yeah.
Who
It's
knows?
tough.
Connor, he's reached for a different level when
Hmm.
it comes to money and things that he conquered. He was a double champion once, and he fought for Floyd Mayweather. He has different level of money,
Yeah.
so he can pick time and who he's gonna fight. So,
Yeah.
uh, not everybody in UFC can do that.
No, no. It's wild, but it's so crazy because I think back on that and that whole time when you had to withdraw, unfortunately, and everything that was going on at that UFC gym. Like I remember all of that as being such a wild time. When you look back at all of the things that you've done in the UFC, has there been like what are the standout moments to you, or what are the standout fights or occasions to you that really imprinted on your brain? Because we think of you and we think of certain things, but I'm wondering which ones to you have stood out the most.
Sorry, what do you mean? Can you
Well,
repeat the
like
question?
maybe either a big fight, maybe you won it and maybe you didn't even win it, but sort of moments in your UFC career that were the most impactful or the ones where you kind of that stand out to you the most when you look back.
Yeah, when I look back, I feel like my first UFC main event. It
Hmm.
was a great moment for me when I fought Ben Henderson. He was a
Yeah.
former champion, and I finished him on the first round.
Hmm.
And my fight against Nate Diaz as well. It was
Hmm.
it was like that when I fought 5 times in 11 months
Yeah.
on that run for that title. It was pretty rough for my body, but it was so worth it. And I remember I fought Ben Henderson and Nate Diaz a couple months
Hmm.
later. And after the Nate Diaz fight, I said, I got to take a break. My body's falling apart. And at that night, I got a call. Dana said that Anthony Pettis called him and say, "I want to fight RDA for my next title
Yeah.
defense." And I had to go take a couple weeks off and go right back to the gym, but it
Hmm.
was so worth it. I ended up getting the title.
Yeah.
So I think that run was I'm pretty pretty happy with that run and all that commitment that I made and all that sacrifice. It pay off so much.
It really was incredible. And that's a little bit frustrating, I guess, for some of us who watched you do all that. And when there's newer fans that come in and they like don't give you the respect that you deserve. And all of us, because we know on the broadcast, we're like, what do you mean you don't? This is a fighter's fighter. This man has done all, and we get like mad if the young kids don't recognize. Does that like do you see a difference in the fan base? Right, like there are the ones that know everything you did, and then there's some people that are like Rafa who, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, it doesn't, a lot of fans, they are really toxic. I think
Yeah.
in every sport, but the guys who knows, people who know, they're great fans. I love my fans, and
Mm-hmm.
they always like sending me good messengers and positive messengers. And another moment on my career was when I made the move to 170,
Yeah.
and I don't think a lot of fighters have that success when they move up
Mm-hmm.
weight. We see a lot of fighters move up and go back right back, and and it was a great moment because like when I move up, everybody say RDA is too small to
Mm-hmm.
170, and I built I didn't went too straight to the title. I built my way up. I fought Tarek Safedin, which was at number 10 at the rankings,
Yeah.
and then I fought Neil Magny, which was I think number 5 or 6, and then I ended up fighting Robbie Lawler, which was a former champion. And I mean, I built my way up on that division. So I ended up fighting for the title with interim title with Kobe.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But yeah, I fall short on that fight. It was a close fight, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I fall short. And I think that if I won that second title, it would be amazing. But yeah, it didn't mean to be. But and no regrets, and I did what I had to do. But yeah, but like I was talking about my fans,
Yeah.
like they're great fans. They always send me positive messages, and it just motivates me to keep doing what I'm doing.
Well, that's great, and yeah, you've been in some incredible fights, and everybody knows how hard you work and how how much heart you have, and your ear, and that never gave you problems again, right? Because I know in that one
No,
time it almost did come off, which is so crazy to me. But
yeah,
it's better
I
now and
was I
everything.
was I was sparring with Benil that I used to once, and my ear got stuck in the cage. I had 14 stitches on the back of my ear, and I fought like 3 months after that. I fought Khabib, so I
Right?
couldn't grapple for a couple, pretty much all the way to the fight. I
Yeah.
couldn't grapple, couldn't do much, and but yeah, and I was helping Bisping too against
Yeah.
GSP, and my ear cut again on the back of my ear. And when I fought Kobe, within 20 seconds of the fight, my ear was bleeding already. So, but now it's 100%. I don't have a problem with that anymore.
Good. Good. Because I know that there's no way that can't be distracting. Like, am I gonna lose my ear in this fight? That would suck. That would suck. So okay, so you had one fight in 23, three in 2022. So yes, activity is something that you're hoping for. So if you're able to get past Gamrot, potentially maybe you could fight at 301 or so. But in general, yes, you're looking to be more active and really get back here and just go for it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
At this point of my career, I'm 39.
Hmm.
I'm not on the mood of uh, um, like if you get out of shape, it's so hard to get back in shape.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might as well keep doing what I'm doing, which
Hmm.
is short fight camps. It's
Yeah.
been way better. Like we doing that, and my body's having great responses. Like I do like 5 weeks fight camp, 6 weeks at the most.
Nice.
So I stay active. Like I said, I keep the water warm throughout
Hmm.
the whole year. But when time for the fight camp comes, it's only like 4, 5, between
Yeah.
4 and 6 weeks. If I keep active, for example, if I get the chance to fight in UFC Rio, it will be a 4 weeks fight camp, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get that in good shape.
Yeah, I mean, at this point too, we joke with you. It's like you've forgotten more than half the people have learned. I mean, so yeah, at this point, maybe you're fine tuning or doing something specific for a specific an opponent. But yeah, I mean, you know how to fight.
Yeah, yeah, especially the way that I'm in doing, like you ask me why I've been moving a lot here,
Yeah.
there. So that keeps me motivated.
Hmm.
I don't like to do like, okay, Monday I have grappling in the morning, uh, Muay Thai on the afternoon, and I
Yeah.
don't like to follow that schedule a lot.
Hmm.
I need to change. When I change days and the week, and it gets me motivated.
Yeah.
When I change environments. Okay, I switch now. I was training jiu-jitsu on this gym. Now I'm training
Hmm.
on that. Not changing coach. You know what I mean? But
Right.
changing
I do know what you
just
mean.
by changing the time and the
Hmm.
days of the week. Okay, I don't spar any Saturdays anymore. Now I'm gonna spar every Wednesday.
Hmm.
So when I change that, it keeps me motivated. I don't like to work like with that routine.
Yeah.
it's not too good for me. Don't
No,
keep
that
me
makes
motivated.
sense. Yeah, I would like, yeah, mix it up and keep your motivation going and keep it interesting and stuff. So you have three kids, right? Three sons?
3 kids, yes,
Three kids.
three
Are
boys.
any of them fighters yet?
No, maybe the little one,
Yeah.
but he don't train. Gustavo, the older one, he
Yeah.
has just become a fighter,
Oh wow,
and
nice.
yeah, yeah, he graduate. And
Awesome.
my middle one, he's 15. Rafael too.
Yeah.
He's swimming, and the little one, he's just do swimming and soccer.
Nice.
They not fight.
Okay, okay. Well,
Hope
that's
they
cool though.
get something better to do in life.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. A lot of time parents, they're either one of two things. Like, yeah, I'm either making an excellent little fighter or I don't want them to fight at all. I'm fighting so they don't have to type thing. Yeah. Yeah. But that's excellent. Well, this is a big deal. I'm really excited for your fight. And hopefully we can, yeah, keep that activity because your fights are always so entertaining. And I'm just glad that you have 6 more on the contract, you said?
Yeah, 6 more.
That's so awesome. Well, best of luck against Gamrot. That is going to be a great one. And yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to kick back and always appreciate you.
Thank you. And I promise you guys, I hold that most octagon hours, most hours on the octagon, but I'm don't look forward to keep that, that going up.
Yes.
I'm now, like, after my last fight, my performance was, I wasn't happy. I
Hmm.
couldn't pull the trigger.
Hmm.
I made a lot of mistakes, and next one now on, I don't, because sometimes you get too afraid of losing,
Yeah.
and it keeps away, like, from, like, take the next step and trying to
Right.
win. And I was too worried about, like, I can't lose, and it messed me up a little bit. But now on, I don't care much about it. I'm just looking forward to go there and put on a big show, and I promise you guys a finish.
Nice. I'm looking forward to that. And maybe that also came because it was Vicente and it was a little bit of like, him too. Did that have anything to do with it?
Actually, I didn't know him that well.
No?
I know who he was,
Yeah.
like, but haven't, never talked to him much.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, he's Brazilian, but, like, sport has evolved so much. Like,
Yeah.
it, like, fighting Brazilians all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was something with me. I
Hmm.
couldn't
Hmm.
pull the trigger.
Pull the trigger.
Something that I couldn't hear my corner. I'm well knowing by hear my corner really well.
Hmm.
My corners really well, but for this time I couldn't hear. It was something weird.
Nice. Well, I love that you're committed to it, and you're coming for the knockout, so people can definitely look forward to that at UFC 299. The former champ. Thank you, Rafael, and yeah, looking forward to seeing you back in action, going for that KO.
I will. Thank you. Thank you for having me,
Thanks.
Karyn.
Oh.